What's up, guys? It's Andrew from Cover Our Daily here. We have the long anticipated interview with my homie Jerome. How you doing, my guy?
I'm chilling, bro. Been waiting for this one.
Yes, sir.
Took us some time to get here, but we're here now.
Yeah, man. Gotta make it meaningful, make it count. The first thing I always like to ask people is introduce yourself as if you're talking to someone who has no idea who you are.
Jeez. Okay. I would be like, I'm gonna act it out for you. I'd be like,
okay.
Yo, what's good? I'm Drone.
It's nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. And then, they probably ask you, oh, so what you do? And I'd be like, yeah, I make music. I record vocals. I'm into fashion. But that's the, you don't want to give them everything right off the bat. No. So that's when the deeper questions come, and then we get into it.
I fuck with that. So how did you start, or what made you want to start making music?
I mean, music has always been a huge thing for me. Like, I remember when I was in second grade, I begged my mom to buy me a guitar.
Tough.
Like, I begged her, and then she's like, I'm only gonna buy you a guitar if you promise that you'll take lessons. So then I ended up taking lessons for like 8 years or something like that. But that was probably the start of it. And then, just got into recording music with the homies, took a break from it, got back to it, took a break from it. And then when I met Ox, shout out the GOAT with Oxa, when I met him, then we just locked in. That was during COVID, so that's pretty much, that's the course of how things went.
Cool. When was the point when you first started where you're like, okay, I think I can really do something with what I'm creating?
Maybe 2021, I would say, was when I kind of got that realization. Cause we started maybe more serious in 2020, and then 2021 I was like, I feel like I can really do this. I bought a setup, just to be able to record some demos at my crib and stuff. And then I was just working on music every day pretty much. And that was probably the realization, yeah, I love this shit. I'm getting better at it. I feel like I could really turn this into something.
So now think about yourself then. How was your approach to making music in that point in your career to now?
Oh, damn. I mean, back then, it was more about just, making as much as I could.
Tough.
Because at that time, I hadn't made that many songs, so the goal was just, okay, let's make as much music as possible. So, you get the workflow down, you get the work ethic down, you get, you just put it in reps. Now, I would say I take my time a lot more with it. I'll spend an 8-hour session just working on a hook, or just working on a verse or something like that, or just recording top lines, and then I'll come back to it and do another 4 hours and come back to it again and do another 4 hours. So I don't know, I try to perfect it a little bit more now and polish it, whereas before it was I'm just trying to pump shit out. I'm just trying to make as much as possible.
I fuck with that, because no, that's really interesting. Is there anything from when you first started making that you still keep to when you're making now?
In terms of workflow?
Yeah.
In terms of the workflow, I definitely have kept some things and just continue to iterate onto it. Just for example, I'll write my whole songs before and then try to record them. Then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna punch in, and now I'm gonna freestyle. Now I'm gonna. So I take all those things, and now I don't really care what the workflow is. I just use whatever method is most natural for what I'm trying to make at the time. So basically, to summarize that, is every time I learn something new, then I just try to incorporate that throughout the process of whenever I'm making music.
No, that's really interesting. I feel I've noticed when just from working with you and from our times making music, it's you have very I feel you very crafted your workflow. It's very unique to you, and it's very efficient to how you want to make music, and so it's interesting to hear that now.
Yeah.
What do you like more, recording in a studio or performing?
Ooh. I would say I definitely love performing, but you can't count out recording because, like, without the actual music, there's nothing to perform.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have more fun performing,
Tough.
but I need to record.
Facts.
So really and truly, I guess I have to go with recording.
What was your first ever concert you've done?
My first show was like a showcase with Freddie Fame, the Toronto legend. Apparently, he used to do stuff with like Tory Lanez back in the day and whatnot. I don't know, like I don't know the facts, but he had like a showcase right after the lockdown ended, and me and Ox pulled up, some of the other homies, and I performed like a quick like 2 or 3 minute set, just like 2 songs kind of thing. That was the first time I ever actually performed in front of people I had like that I didn't know.
What was that feeling for the first time?
It was good, but I was like, bro, I need to get better at this now, because I had spent so much time making music that I got the workflow down for that, and I was like, now I got to get better on stage, because it wasn't that I was nervous or it wasn't that I wasn't confident. I just wasn't good at it yet. Like, I didn't naturally get up there and was immediately a rock star or something like that.
Some people like just go in there and just fix them, but it really is like a skill of its own. So many people have great music that like you think would be great to perform, but they just don't have that like art or that skill set really set down.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear you say that as well. How would you say, like, from when you first started performing to like you performing now, like you feel about going on stage and how you think about performing?
Now it's damn near second nature, honestly, because I feel like I've done enough shows and just performed in front of enough faces to the point where, I don't know, I don't stress it too much. I always just go into it thinking these people are here to be entertained, so let me go entertain them. So I just try to do that. You know, I'll have my off nights here and there, but most of the time I just try to go out and give the best performance I can.
Oh, that's great to hear. What do you think your favorite performance has been?
Favorite so far? I probably would have to say Dead Egos 2.
Tough.
That was a good one. The headliners were Slump Success. I know Gunner performed. I think Eli Jugs did a guest appearance. A lot of other names on there as well. So that was a good one.
Cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the upcoming Cyberfest festival?
Ooh, the Cyberland. That's
Cyberland. My bad.
The Cyberland Fest, bro. That's gonna be a good opportunity. I'm definitely excited for that. We got 4 or 5 coming back to Toronto, and we'll face Joey for the first time in the city. So
that's crazy.
That'll be hype.
Will that be your biggest venue performing at?
Yeah, that'll definitely. I think the venue capacity is like almost 500, so that'll be the biggest one so far.
I'm really, really excited to see you perform that.
Thank you, bro.
That's gonna be exciting for real.
Hell yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about before that I forgot to mention is when you mentioned Sir Woodox. How did you first meet him?
So I met Ox through. Okay, so I was going to Super Smash Brothers tournaments. You don't want to see me in that game, bro. Like, on God.
I just think that's where we're gonna go with this,
bro. I'm telling you, like, if anybody wants to put bread up, there's only a couple people in this scene that I know in terms of like the music or fashion or creative scene that I know that might be nice on the sticks like that. But if they want to put bread up on Smash Brothers, okay, come see me.
Which Smash Brothers are we talking?
The newest one. The newest one. Yeah,
okay,
the newest one. So we're talking about the what's it called for the Switch, you know?
Yeah.
But so I was going to tournaments and I randomly met this dude. He just came up to me and he's like, "Yo, you want to do a photo shoot?" And I was like, "Okay, bet." Like, he didn't really know anything about me. We had only seen each other a couple times. I didn't know anything about him really, but I guess he saw that I had good sense of fashion or whatever, and he didn't know like anything about me previously modeling, so it just came naturally. Fast forward, he randomly comes up to me another time and he's like, "Yo, you want to come to the studio?" And I was like, "Okay, bet." And I pull up, Ox is there, he's playing beats, he's engineering, there's a whole bunch of other people there, and ever since that, we were just like locked in.
Talk about like, yeah, like your guys' working relationship, because of how much, I feel like every time I see like a track from you, it's mixed by Ox in the comments.
100%. Every single song that I've ever officially released has been mixed by Ox. So, I don't know, we pretty much try to work together as much as we can on all the different creative processes, like everything, bro. Like, that's my guy. So,
speaking of releases, we have a release that will probably be out by the time people are hearing this.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you have to say about this upcoming release?
So, the release that I'm dropping, EP, 3-track EP, it's called Blah Blah Blah. It's got Fishbowl as track 1, Currency as track 2, and the much anticipated Blah 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 track at number 3. In terms of what I can say about it, it's just I've been waiting to put out music because I was kind of in a sticky situation for a long time, so I'm finally able to put out music. I've had so much time to just like perfect these songs and like perform them as unreleased in front of crowds that don't even know me, and they're vibing. So I'm like, okay, this should be well received by the people.
I remember I was talking to Crane about it, and he was like, man, I've heard that this song played so many times, I just want to listen to it on my phone.
Yeah. Dude, you don't know how many people have told me that. At least 2 handfuls of people just like, yo, when are you dropping that track? Like, I've heard you perform it like 10 times. I'm like, not 10, but give me some time.
Man, that's how you hype up a track now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, oh, I can finally listen to it.
Right? So that was kind of the thought process there. You know, just I didn't really have any new music out during the time frame that I had been performing. Mm-hmm. So I was just doing like unreleased. Mm-hmm. I would mix up my sets. So in the beginning, when I was doing shows consistently, I would try to introduce new tracks all the time and see like, okay, what are people vibing with? What like different crowds like different kind of sounds or whatever. And then you end up just finding like what people want from you. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of went with that.
Tough. No, I fuck with that.
Oh, yeah.
I love the cover art for it too.
Thank you.
That shit is crazy.
Thank you.
So tell me about like the process of creating that.
So actually, the entire concept for the cover art was thought out by Senna.
Tough.
And she basically, I sent her a picture that I was originally gonna use, and she was like, I like the picture, but you know, you could do something more creative. So then she was bouncing ideas back and forth, just different concepts about, you know, maybe locations or, you know, just different things. And then we came up with like, okay, what about the megaphone in the library? Like that contrast for the blah, blah, blah kind of theme. So then Ox shot it, touched it up, and then, you know, we have the final product.
No, that like, you can tell right away when someone actually is like crafting their creative direction with artwork, and see that right away. So yeah, big ups for that.
Yeah,
honestly.
Thank you, bro.
If you had to pick one, like, do you have like a favorite album cover of all time, or a few?
Favorite album cover of all time. I mean, for me, one of the most iconic album covers would probably be like Take Care. I feel
classic.
like that album cover just like, you know those memes of like, I could turn any picture into an album cover? Yeah. I feel like that is the literal like epitome of that, bro. Literally. Like, bro's just in some restaurant or something with like one candle and a little glass of champagne or something. I don't know, a little goblet. Like, what? I'm just like, bro, that one's iconic for me. And then I would have to say, just for the simplicity and my love for Pierre Bourne, just that nice purple square.
Facts.
The complete contrast, you know?
I fuck with both of those. Those are both great picks.
And the one thing I want to say about Pierre's too is just the branding that came with that. Like, after that, he was just associated with the color purple. Like, all his fits were purple. Everything about, like, his brand image was purple. So, I don't know. I gotta give props there.
No, I fuck with that. Usually, because, like, if you go with, like, such a blank cover art, you have, like, he almost made everything else around it make sense.
Exactly.
You know, and he doesn't just drop in, that doesn't really, like, clarify, it doesn't make it seem lazy. Like, there's, like, context and, like,
exactly.
yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying. Who's someone, like, or who's, like, a dream artist that you would want to work with?
Dream artist to work with? Oh, man, maybe Future would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I don't know, like, I always think about it and I'm like, I would love to work with these people, but it has to make sense, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just hop on a track and it never come out. Like, I would want to make something really good, but I feel like we could do something. Me and Future could do something.
I didn't even think about that till you said that. Would be so tough, bro. Yeah, that'd be absolutely insane. We gotta make that happen. You know?
One day, yeah.
We're gonna come back to this video in the future. We're gonna see it happen. Same question, but in our scene, in our, like, underground Toronto scene, who's someone you really, like, would want to work with or have worked with that you really enjoyed?
Someone that I need to work with is Star. Everybody that knows me and him always says, yo, you guys gotta make a track together.
I've been saying it, man.
You've been saying it, like, and we've been in sessions together frequently, but we just never found the time to, like, actually lock in and get something. But I would say him, and then obviously somebody that I enjoy working with is Ox, like,
the GOAT.
Literally my GOAT, bro. My fucking GOAT, bro.
Low-key, the last question, I have, like, one more after this, but one of the last questions I have is, I want to talk about your fashion for a sec.
Okay.
I feel like you always got the drip. You've always been clean with it. Where did that come from, and, like, how do you, like, how do you look drippy, my guy? How do you do it?
Jeez, I mean, like, I would say if I was to give advice to anybody with fashion, it's just, like, dress for your proportions. So
that's a great tip.
If you know, like, your body type, just, like, figure that out and just put shit on that, like, looks good for you. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. Just, like, dress for yourself, and then you'll just start, like, curating your own sense of fashion. And of course, you can take inspiration. You can, like, follow trends if that's what you feel like doing. Everyone kind of does that as well, but it's really important to, like, dress for your body type. So I think I figured out like what looks good on me, and then I just doubled down on that.
Bro, for real, with the trend thing, it's like, if you fuck with something, it's always gonna come back around. Trends always gonna come back around. Then it'll look even harder.
Exactly.
You've been I fuck with that advice for real. I guess my last question is, what advice would you give yourself, like, 3-4 years ago when you first started doing this, or maybe whenever you first started, like, really getting into music? Because I feel like there's so many people. There's always going to be people in that situation.
True. I mean, I feel like I've done as much in my power that I could do, but if I had to go back in time and tell myself anything, I'd probably just give myself encouragement to keep going. Like, I wouldn't even tell myself, like, oh, do this instead or do this instead, because I feel like everything that I've done is the reason why I'm in this position right now. And if I changed any of that, maybe I'd be in a better spot, or maybe I'd be in a worse spot. I don't know. So I would just be like, yo, just keep going. You're going to get there. And I would say that to anybody who's, like, starting out. Just perfect your craft. Just work as hard as you can. Make connections. And just keep going.
Hell yeah. No, I appreciate you, my guy. It's been the damn drone interview. Thanks anyone who's been watching to this point.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all, gang. Hell yeah. Nah.